No. 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 It's not happening. This is not happening. I'm imagining this. I'm in a bad dream. We're in a bad nightmare right now. What the hell are we witnessing in these past two games? Seriously. Are the Diamondbacks the new Miami Marlins to this Phillies team? Is that what the case is right now? The Phillies struggle to beat the Diamondbacks? Is that just simply the case? The Phillies forgot how to pitch? The Phillies in this game forgot how to hit? Everything. Everything in this game was bad. Everything. It's literally the exact, well, not the exact same replication of last night's game, minus the offense. The Diamondbacks in the second inning score, 5 runs against Aaron Nola. They put a 5 spot up there, and then they continue to tack on to the lead the rest of the game. They eventually score 12 runs. Oh boy, the Phillies finally got a hit. They finally get on the board after, going scoreless for the last, 6 innings of last night's ball game into the first couple of innings tonight. Brandon Marsh hit a 3-run shot. Thank you for showing up, Brandon Marsh, because the rest of the team didn't. Zack out there dominating, just dicing up Phillies batters. The Phillies in this game overall, they had 4 hits. 4 hits. The Diamondbacks had 17. 17 hits. I've never seen 2 games in a row of just terrible, terrible pitching performances. Yesterday by Ranger Suarez and the rest of the bullpen, Christopher Sanchez, Andrew Bellotti. And today, Aaron Nola had his worst game of the season. Aaron Nola, what was that? What the hell was that? Yeah, I understand. Yeah, a lot of pressure because of what happened last night. I don't know if it's lingering or anything. Yeah, I know you had a complete game in your last outing. It's going to be hard to replicate that. But to literally go out there and completely lost. Second inning, allowing so many hits in a row. It's basically what happened last night. Once the Diamondbacks get that hit, it starts to spiral in a completely bad direction. It's just what happened. It is. Let's go to that second inning. Why not? Walker doubles. Carroll singles, scores a run. Thomas doubles, scores a run. A single. 2 runners on. Then you get a sacrifice bunt. Error by Rhys Hoskins, which allows a run to score. And then you get a triple, which scores 2 runs. So basically, it just kept bleeding in this game overall. It just did. Everything that just went wrong. In both games. Yesterday, you go up 7-0, and then your pitching blew the entire fucking game. Today, your offense just didn't show up. They got absolutely diced by Zack, who was dominant out there. And then your pitching once again stunk. Aaron Nola goes out there, throws a stinker. Probably his worst start. Maybe in his career. Probably one of his worst starts in his career. Following up one of his best starts of his career with that complete game against the Reds. You can't make this fucking shit up. You just can't. You just can't. And by God, Mick Maton was almost your best pitcher in this game. That's the sad thing. Nick Maton was almost your best pitcher in this game. You allowed 3 runs, though. Your best pitcher in this game overall was David Robertson and Connor Brogdon. Aaron Nola was not good. Sam Coonrod, okay, yeah, he allowed an unearned run because of an error once again by Garrett Stubbs and Rhys Hoskins. So eventually a sacrifice fly came around to score. But Aaron Nola's stat line, 4 hits, 4 innings, 10 hits, 8 earned runs, 0 walks, 5 strikeouts, and a home run allowed on 85 pitches. His ERA was in the low 3s coming into this ballgame. It jumped up to 3.43. Aaron Nola, my God, that was just awful. The entire lineup today, like I said, the only guy that really showed up was Brandon Marsh, surprisingly. 2 for 3, 3-run shot, 3 RBIs. The rest of the lineup, Kyle Schwarber, over 3, 2 strikeouts. Rhys Hoskins, over 3, 2 strikeouts. Alec Bohm, over 4. Bryce Harper, over 3 with a walk. Bryson Stott, over 3. Gene Segura, 1 for 3. Garrett Stubbs, over 2 with a walk and a run scored. Matt Vierling, 1 for 3. And then Brandon Marsh, 2 for 3. Phillies barely had any runners in scoring position. The only chance that they had tonight was the Brandon Marsh 3-run shot. The Diamondbacks, though, they had 16 chances with runners in scoring position, and they went 6 for 16. McCarthy goes 2 for 5, 5 RBIs in this game. He had a triple and a 3-run shot. Walker, 3 for 4. Varsho, 3 for 5. Carroll, the top prospect, one of the top prospects in baseball, destroying you, 2 for 5 with 3 RBIs. Thomas, 4 for 5 with 2 RBIs. Kelly, 2 for 5. Seriously. Terrible. It's absolute garbage what we're witnessing in these 2 games. And it's going to go to the same old narrative. The Phillies collapsed in September. It's going to go back to that narrative after these 2 games. Even if you find a way to salvage the series. Not confident with Bailey Falter on the mound, even though he's pitched good in his last couple of outings. Still not confident with the way it's going against this Diamondbacks team, because for some reason, whenever the Phillies go to Arizona, it completely goes in the gutter. The past couple of seasons, the Phillies for some reason cannot win in Arizona. It's becoming our new Miami Marlins now, because the Phillies have figured out Miami this year. Now Arizona is the new Miami. For some reason, that logo, that ballpark, that city, everything about Arizona, for some reason, the Phillies cannot beat. I don't know how to explain it. I just can't. I simply cannot explain it because it's so just can't. I simply can't. I simply cannot. And the question that's most likely going to get asked, are we panicking? At the end of the day, I'm going to be frustrated. I'm going to be pissed off at this series because these 2 games have been terrible. Do I believe this team collapses still? No. No, I'm going to stay that until it comes true. Yeah, these 2 games are not the best description to probably talk about that, but still. I still believe in this team's ability to go after this series and start winning more. I don't know what it is about this Diamondbacks team. It's inexcusable to lose this series. It's inexcusable to lose these 2 games in the fashion that you did. Yesterday, blowing a 7-0 lead. Your pitching has been absolute dog trash in this entire first 2 games. And do I expect it to be better with Bailey Falter on the mound? I can't tell you. Because both of your starters were not able to surpass 4 innings in this game. In both games, actually. Ranger Suarez couldn't surpass 4 innings. He went, 3 2/3. Aaron Nola went 4 exactly. And your bullpen, how many arms you've been using these past couple of games? How many did you use yesterday? Like 3 or 4. Today you used 3 into Nick Maton. They're going to be asking a lot out of Bailey Falter tomorrow. They are. They're going to be asking a lot. But still, the only thing you can ask out of Bailey Falter is to go 6 innings. Is that guaranteed with the way this Phillies team has been playing against this Diamondbacks team, especially in Arizona? I couldn't tell you. I couldn't tell you at all. On the bottom line, this is embarrassing. It's fucking embarrassing with the way you're playing, the way you are just sucking in these 2 games. It is. You're now on a 3-game losing streak, even though I still threw that last game against the Pirates out of the garbage because you won that series. It was a getaway day, blah, blah, blah. Throw it in the garbage, bounce back in Arizona. But these 2 games, it's just the pitching. Yeah, the offense wasn't there today, but the pitching. The pitching. What's going on here? Pitching leaking oil? Is the pitching, is the injuries with the pitching, injuries to key guys catching up to you right now? Talked about with Ranger Suarez with getting onto his innings limit or getting above his career high in innings pitched. Is that coming back to haunt him? Even though you most likely can't bench him at all with the Zack Wheeler injury, and Zack Wheeler's most likely not going to be back until next week. Yeah, September call-ups and all that stuff happens, but what do you do with September call-ups? And now there's all this talk about Zach Eflin could possibly be back in the future. I'm like, are we really pushing our hopes on Zach Eflin because the guy can't stay healthy? Are we really going to push any hope on Zach Eflin? I just can't physically do that with Zach Eflin. Yeah, when he's good and healthy and he's on his game, yeah, he could be a good pitcher, but the dude can't stay healthy. It's not a reliable project right there. It just isn't. Like watching this entire game, I have an entire splitting headache just watching this game. I'm sure we all do. I simply just can't explain anything. I just can't. It's embarrassing. It's simply that's the word. It's embarrassing. Like the only you somewhat got help in the standings today. Well, in the other standings today because the Brewers did lose their game, so the Brewers aren't catching up in the ground. But the Padres, they're winning their game against San Francisco 4-1. So you were a game and a half above the Padres coming into this game. Now with this loss, it's a game above the Padres. And if the Padres do hold up and win against the Giants, it'll turn down to a half-game lead. So kind of crunching there a little bit with these couple of losses in a row. It is. Unbelievable. It's unbelievable. Like I said, I still don't believe overall this team is going to collapse. It's fucking frustrating with the way this team is playing in these past 2 games. It is. The pitching right now, people have a right to be skeptical. They do. You missed the playoffs 10 straight years and all that stuff. I'm not going to argue with you anymore. I'm just not. I feel like it's a waste of energy to argue with each other on that statement. It just is. If you want to believe this team is going to collapse, and all by means, go ahead. I'm not calling out anyone or anything like that. Just go with what you believe. I still think this team is going to find a way to bounce back eventually and go on and win more games like they have done basically since June. But right now, the feeling's not good. It's not. It's not good at all with the start of this road trip. It just isn't. The way you play these first 2 games, it just isn't. You can't be losing games like this. You just cannot. Especially the teams like Arizona. You just cannot. This team is, seriously, this Arizona team, specifically in Arizona, is becoming the new goddamn Miami Marlins. It's seriously, it's that. I can't describe it for some reason. Yeah, Zack Gallen out there was nasty. But Aaron Nola, what the hell was that? Seriously. We're making this Diamondbacks team look like they're the 1927 New York Yankees. Is that even a good analogy or a good team to reference by? I'm trying to think of another team that's more modern. Even think we're making the Arizona Diamondbacks look like the Los Angeles Dodgers. That's basically it. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. I'm going to stay off Twitter for a while, though. Definitely am. Definitely don't want to go into the cancerous space that is Twitter. That's why you didn't see any update on any post about tonight's stream. I just didn't want to go on my Twitter account at all. I just don't. When bad shit like this is going on, I just don't want to scroll through Twitter because it is not good for the mind. It just isn't. It just isn't, because all it is a cesspool to annoy you and make you mad. That's basically it. Because there are a lot of other people on Twitter that have terrible takes. There just is. Some people have way too extreme of takes. My God. My God, my God, my God. Brutal. It's fucking brutal. Seriously, Phillies, don't prove these people right. Don't prove the people that are doubting you right. Because, if you do, that won't be fun. It won't be fun. Even though I don't want to harp on that side. I just don't. I still want to strive the sigh of optimism, but these first 2 games against Arizona have not been that case. Because we all know what happened last year when we went to Arizona and everything fell apart after that. Don't do it again. Don't do it again. You already lost this series. It's unacceptable as it is. Don't let this spiral out of control into something that you can't recover from. Just don't do it again. I don't think this team is going to do it again. They have way too many good guys in this clubhouse to do that. They have way better leadership in this clubhouse to do that. Kyle Schwarber added playoff experience and everything like that. They have way too many good guys and good leaders in this clubhouse to even let that happen again. Can't happen. Can't happen. Don't let it happen. Don't let it spiral out of control. Figure this shit out. Find a way to salvage the series tomorrow. I'm demanding the offense to go out there and explode. And I don't care if it's unfair to Bailey Falter or not Bailey Falter. You have to go out there and pitch your ass off like you did against the Mets. You just do. You just do. Sorry. No free passes. Just no free passes here. You got to go out there and you got to pummel this team tomorrow and salvage this goddamn series and then move on to San Francisco. It's all you can do at this point. Maybe that's the benefit about baseball. You play the next day. Don't let this fucking linger. Please. For all of our sanity. My God. My God, this is embarrassing, these first 2 games. It is. It just simply is. I don't blame anyone for being frustrated and stop believing in this team. I don't blame them. Even though I don't agree with them, I don't blame them. Oh boy. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Phillies after dark, huh? Phillies after dark. As I'm going to close Twitter right now because, yeah, just isn't. Don't want to get involved in that. So if I continue to look over at this Giants and Padres game, it's in the top of the 9th inning. Padres are winning 4-1 still. Brewers lost to the Pirates earlier today. So quote unquote, that does help you technically in the standings wise, but you're now 72-57 on the year. Looking at tomorrow's game, you got Bailey Falter on the mound going up against Thomas Henry. Tommy Henry is 3-2 on the year, a 3.25 ERA, whip of 1.27. He's pitched 27 innings this year, so he's a fairly new guy on the mound for the Diamondbacks. So let's see his past couple of games. So in his last 7 days, he has an ERA of 1.80. Joy. In his last couple of games, against the Chicago White Sox, 5 innings, 1 earned run allowed. Against the Cardinals, 5 1/3 innings, 1 earned run allowed, even though they lost that game. Against the Colorado Rockies, 5 1/3 innings, 3 earned runs. Pittsburgh Pirates, 7 innings, 1 earned run. Cleveland Guardians, 5 innings, 4 earned runs. Joy. And he is a lefty on the mound, so definitely expect a more righty-heavy lineup from the Phillies. But who knows? Definitely who knows? My joy, my God, my God. I hate these late. I just do, especially like when you're watching baseball this late at night and the product is bad as it is in these past 2 games. It's not a joy where you just want to go to bed. It just simply is that, to where I'm probably going to go to bed and then not be able to sleep because of what I just witnessed. Simply, it's that. It's that bad. Like earlier in the year when we were in that Los Angeles Dodgers 4-game series and the games were stretching all to 2 a.m. because no one can find a way to get the game over and done with, even though the Phillies did manage to win 3 out of 4 of those games, it still felt like, my God, it's 2 a.m. Just let the game goddamn end. Please, so I can go to bed. Frustrating. Frustrating. I understand the frustration. I haven't looked at the chat the entire time, so I might as well look at that. I'm not sure what I'm going to expect from it, so let's do it. We got multiple petition for Alvarado. Well, at least they are sparing some of the fan base these train wrecks with these late starts. If you're looking at the positives, I guess you can look at that. Can we go back to being happy? I don't like this. I agree with you, Mr. W. I don't like this at all either. Issue isn't losing. It's the way they are, and Nola, people need to stop. He's not a clutch pitcher. His stats into September have been terrible every year. So confident for Falter's start tomorrow. He won the only game against the Mets, only allowing 3 hits last time. Once again, Phillies logic. Yeah, that definitely would make sense considering the Phillies. What's the offense's excuse again? There isn't an excuse. They sucked tonight. They did. They sucked tonight. Just hope Arizona treats the Brewers the same way this weekend, calling Bailey Falter. We really need you tomorrow. Yeah, basically it. Not a good flush job from last game. It's like when you flush, but you find out you need a plunger and it's about to overflow. That's an interesting analogy there, man. That's a very interesting analogy. Yams, we've sucked for a while. Glad we're rebuilding. Are you talking about the Phillies? Or are you talking about the Diamond? Who are you talking about there, Yams? I'm assuming you're talking about the Phillies. That's just what I'm assuming at this point. Oh, Arizona fan here. Okay, I just saw your other comment there. And you have some good young players they've showcased in this series, but I'm just a frustrated Phillies fan saying this Phillies team should be beating your team. Sorry. Been so optimistic this whole season, even when we were like 8 games under 500. Knew we had something in us, but damn, the optimism is running low. It's, yeah, with these 2 games, it definitely is. Did the Phillies ever get hit? Always seem to get or score besides beating Alcantara. Like, there's certain good pitchers out there that the Phillies can actually battle with, but Like Zack Allen, they faced earlier in the year, and they scored 7 runs against them. I couldn't tell you that, Julian. I just don't. I just couldn't tell you. Live in Vegas and was going to go, but after yesterday, I said, no way, I'm wasting my money. A smart man there. Smart man. Don't worry too much. Phillies hit the Diamondbacks at a wrong time. It still doesn't make it any less frustrating. I know the Diamondbacks coming into the series were hot, but it's just like, come on, man. Come on. Be better. Be better. Be better. 6-18 in San Francisco. I'm assuming that's in the last couple of years, and then 3-13 in Arizona in the last couple of years. Yeah. Specifically, these two West Coast teams on the road specifically had not been kind to the Phillies. Can they find a way to make that up in San Francisco? I have no idea. But the fact that they're late night games, not happy for it. Even though Saturday and Sunday they're 4 o'clock games, so does that make it a little bit better? The Phillies haven't been good at afternoon games this year overall, but still. It's not a good feeling. It just isn't. Simply isn't. Feelings down right now. You're going in probably one of your worst stretches of the year with your pitching. Like specifically your starting pitching. Your starting pitching has not looked this bad the entire year. Your starting pitching has been one of the things that's been your benefit this year. But now with Wheeler down and everything like that, this is the worst your starting pitching has looked this entire year with these past 2 starts from Ranger and Nola. Like, that can't happen. Cannot happen. It just can't. Just can't. And I thought it was going to be different with Nola today. I did. With the season that he has been having, I thought tonight was going to be different, especially coming off of that complete game. Boy, was I wrong. Boy, was I proven wrong. Boy, was I looking like the asshole. I looked like the douche. What a terrible game. What a terrible series. They better bounce back in San Francisco. Better bounce back. It's demanding at this point. It's demanding that you salvage the series and go to San Francisco and win that series. It's demanding at this point. It's got to happen. It's got to happen. Frustrating as hell. Just is. Simply just is. Panic though? No. I still believe in this team at the very end of the day. But how long does that belief last? Gotta wait and see. But right now, I still believe in the team. I do. Did we just call this a rough patch that they're in? Couldn't tell you. Couldn't tell you at all. But what it is, it's not entertaining. It's just absolutely bad baseball. It just is. Win tomorrow, sweep Stanford. We're not sweeping San Francisco. That's just not going to happen in my dreams, but that's obviously the best that can happen. And you never know what can happen. It is baseball. It is a very weird sport, but win tomorrow, then move on to the off day and move on to San Francisco. That's all you can do at this point. That's all you can do. Salvage the series, go on to San Francisco and win the series. It's demanding. It has to happen. You can't go on this road trip winning 0 games. You just can't. And I don't expect them to not win a single game. Well, I don't expect them to go winless on this entire road trip. But right now, your bullpen's feeling the effects of your starting pitching being bad. And also the lack of not having Corey Knebel and Sergio Dominguez. That's also affecting that as well. Wonder what happens with the September call-ups. Because it does sound like they're bringing up 1 pitcher and 1 position player. And I'm assuming that position player is going to be Derek Hall. I would just assume that at this point. I'm not sure what they're going to do with the pitcher. If it's going to be a bullpen guy or they're just going to constantly call up, send down guys for pitching sessions or something like that. I couldn't tell you. Could not tell you at all. I know they said Seraphine is going to go on a rehab assignment very soon and then come back most likely with the team next week. That's just what I would assume at this point. I'm not sure what pitcher they'll call up. I'm not sure if it's going to be a starter just to make a spot start here to give this rotation a break or something like that. I couldn't tell you. Do they call up a Griff McGarry or something like that? They're not calling up a Panger or McAble. That's not happening. McGarry could be possible. but I would assume more of a bullpen guy than anything. Who knows? They're still going to be in Julian. They're still going to be in this till the very end because of the Padres and the Brewers. Yeah, but I still believe this team is going to go out and win more series than not, because they've done that more times than this year. It's just, of course, they're losing a series at probably the worst time possible. I do think they bounce back eventually and they win more series. I'm not worried about the Padres and the Brewers. You got to win the games that are in front of you. Let the Padres and the Brewers do their own thing. The Padres have a tough schedule going down till the end of September. They face the Dodgers a bunch of times and the Giants. And then the Brewers, they have a stretch of St. Louis, New York, and both New York teams. So I'm more confident in this team's ability to bounce back after this tough stretch that they're in. Even though it's been 3 games, but still, I consider that a tough stretch because everything is just going bad in these 3 games. Frustrating, it is. It really is. Simple as that. Simple as that. Very frustrating. Gut feeling when you would start to worry that the team is in trouble. Let's see. Let me look at the schedule. So after this series in Arizona, they got San Francisco, Miami, Washington, Miami. I would say if they start, what W just said, mid-September if this keeps happening. Right now, September hasn't started yet. If you bounce back at the start of September, or maybe if you slug going into the first weekend of September, then you bounce back coming back home like against the Marlins and the Nationals, you bounce back in those 2 series, I won't be worried. But if this type of play continues happening through mid-September, then when you're about to be facing the Braves, the Blue Jays, and all that stuff, yeah, that's when I'm going to get worried. That's when I'm going to get worried. Now, I'm frustrated, concerned about certain aspects, not about the entire team. But am I still confident in this team's ability to bounce back and win more series than not? Yeah, I am still in that. Julian, I know you have a right to be skeptical. 10 years missing the playoffs and all that stuff. Everyone has a right to be skeptical and doubt the team. I just can't do that. I simply can't do that with what this team has done this year. I simply can't. See, Mr. W's logging off, and I think, basically I was going to end the stream. Basically here, regardless. It's 1:15. A little late now. Everyone wants to go to bed. Maybe not you, Julian, since you live in Vegas. So basically, what time is it for you? 10, 9 o'clock or something like that. So going to end it off here, everyone. Thank you, everyone, for joining the stream. As always, do not forget to leave a like in the comment section down below. Drop a like on the video. Don't forget to check out everything in the description down below. BrodesMedia, Painted Lines. I recommend all of that. And also, don't forget to hit that subscribe button so it goes a very long way. Join the TTP Sports family. And also, use the code TTP Sports, $20 off your first purchase at SeatGeek. Great deal. Use it for any event or sporting event you can think of. Don't pass up on it. Save $20 off your first purchase, everyone. Thank you, everyone, for joining the stream as always. And I will see you next time.